Hey, everybody, we're doing a different kind of sound waves this episode. We're with Rachel Mari Kimber, and we're going to be doing this via Zoom. So this will be a lot of fun. Rachel, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. I want to just, you're a woman of many facets. You're a multi-instrumentalist, you're a cellist, you're a guitar player, singer-songwriter, doing Celtic music. You make beautiful chocolates by hand. You're a race car driver
Right, yes.
when you're competing by yourself and not having anyone else on the road.
Uh-huh.
You were in a punk band called Verona. That's kind of interesting. So let's
Yeah.
talk about some of your beginnings. You're from the UK, currently in Arizona. How did that happen?
Wow. Well, I love Wales and I very much enjoyed my time there and it was good being around family. But I met a gentleman in Cardiff who was a music producer and a band manager. And he loved what I was doing. So he recorded an album with me, to cut a long story short, or two albums actually.
Hmm.
And then whisked me off around around the place on tour. So I toured for a year with a band, and then I did a solo tour for another year to promote the music we'd made, and then we went on holiday, and we ended up getting married. And then we moved to St. Martin in the French West Indies. And then we moved to Canada when our daughter was born. And then from there, I continued to write music during all of that time. So I feel like my entire life is documented through a myriad of songs, which is wonderful. And a
Wow.
very good cathartic way to process things as well. So then we unfortunately separated. We both grew apart, and he chose from Canada to move to Phoenix. And so I followed suit because obviously we wanted to share bringing our daughter up, which we do very amicably, which is wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and
Were you
she's amazing.
snowbirds there for a little while, like doing Canada during the hot months and then Phoenix during the cooler months, or no?
I would have loved to have done that, but the travel really takes its toll on you, honestly. But when I lived in Canada, I did quite a bit of session cello work for weddings and things like that, and I even got to play for their July the 1st celebrations and for the Aboriginal Day, and got
Wow.
involved with the natives, which was very magical. Yeah.
Now, everything that you just shared, what time span are we talking? How long? Like that was a lot of information in a
That was a lot of
time. Yeah, it was very
information.
good.
In a succinct way. So to give you an idea, my daughter's 14. So I guess because she was born in the UK, but at the time we lived in St. Martin. So the start of our travel journey was 14 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's amazing.
It's fast.
How did you get interested in race car driving?
Well, I was
I'm gonna try to
part of
share some of the screens here during the Zoom. Let's see if I can do this while you're talking about it.
okay. I was quite a rebellious teenager. I kind of wanted to really. I lived very intensely and vivaciously, and I loved the idea of racing. And I was really into motorbikes, so I learned to ride a bike before I could drive a car.
Huh.
So I got my bike license, and I would race around on my motorbike, and enjoyed that very much. And then at the time, my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, John, he found out about this Formula One racing for women called Formula Woman. And so I was like, oh, I'd love to try that. And he was like, oh, why don't you do it? And I was like, well, I can't drive yet. And so I started learning to drive, and I managed to pass my test and get my license and hand in my application on the last day that they were accepting applications for the season for doing that. So I
Nice.
managed to get in by the skin of my teeth, and then I got down to the top 35 because they had to whittle it down from hundreds of people who were coming from all over the country. And it was a lot of fun. I had to do like fitness training for it and stamina stuff. and then learned to race a track. And it was a really good experience in terms of getting that desire to race everywhere in a regular car out of my system. So now if I'm on the freeway, I'm really chill.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I don't speed anymore, you know. It's in me, I can do it, but I've got nothing to prove, which is
Nice.
a wonderful feeling.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your chocolate, because we have an affinity for many of the same things. I love driving and racing, although anyway, this is about you. So let's go there. Let's see. And I want to make sure that you can see these. Let me just make sure, because this is new to be doing this episode from, can you see your chocolate page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
good. So there's Chocology. How did that start and what's going on?
So I've always been a big chocolate fan. And I studied it quite a lot. I know its nutritional content is fantastic. One of the things I struggled with was that most chocolate is made with sugar. And sugar is really damaging for the immune system and the teeth and everything in general. It's as addictive as TV and cocaine. So it's really not good for us, but it's part of our way of life and it's heavily promoted. And I wanted to do something that was different because I value my health, and I noticed my health had declined. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease after lots of partying in my 20s. And so I wanted to correct it naturally rather than be on medication for the rest of my life. So I looked at my diet and I cleaned out completely and went back to basics. And now I only eat fresh produce that I've prepared myself, and I cook everything from scratch. And I make sure that my diet is full of vegetables and yummy things like that. So in the chocolate front, I couldn't really eat regular chocolate anymore. I would end up hurting my teeth, or I'd feel that high and then that low, and it would pull me down. So I gravitated towards honey, because honey is an incredible superfood. So now I taught myself how to make chocolate using honey. And it's a viscous liquid, so it's quite the alchemic process to get honey to set with the other ingredients. And it takes quite a while. You have to do what's called tempering, which is the process of mixing the ingredients together. You have to do it like maybe 3 or 4 times, sometimes 5 times, to get the right consistency and get it shiny, and so that it'll behave like chocolate. And it's alive as well. The chocolate I make is alive. I don't cook it, so I keep the temperatures very low. So it's a raw product, so it retains many, many nutrients. So it's really nourishing. So sometimes people eat my chocolate and they're like, if you put anything in that, I feel high. And I'm like, oh, that is the nutrients. They make you feel good.
Do you have some with you? Can we see some?
I do. So chocolate contains endorphins. It's endorphin releasing.
There's one.
Tryptophan in it, which is the ingredient that dogs can't eat. So that's, if anyone knows.
Tryptophan.
Chocolate to dogs, it's because it contains tryptophan.
Okay.
Raw chocolate that contains cacao butter, cacao powder, and honey, and that's it. There's 3 ingredients.
How do you make it so shiny?
That's the tempering process.
The tempering.
And it tastes so good.
Now you have a truffle there also, right?
I do.
Okay, let's see that.
The tempering process, it's like making babies. I really take my time and put my love into it, because I believe everything is vibration and energy, and our intention is everything. So when I'm tempering them, I will sing tones into them and put tone vibrations into them. So I have, all of my chocolates are honey sweetened, apart from one called Truffalicious, which is sweetened with maple syrup, because there are people who are vegan who don't want to do honey. So I did the chocolate for them. I'm trying to find, okay, there's the lavender. There's a lavender truffle. Hang on, let me find the right angle there. There.
Nice. I feel like I'm doing EDMR or whatever that's called.
Chocolates are hot.
EMDR, yeah. Follow the chocolate.
And there's
nice. I got to try these. I'm going to be picking some of that up.
One. And it has superfoods in, because I also experiment all the time with flavors. So Truffalicious has raw cacao and coconut oil, maple syrup, almond butter, maca, which is hormone balancing,
Huh?
and reishi, which is good for the immune system, and cayenne, which is great for the heart, and orange, which is uplifting, and joy and love. So yeah.
Now the thing is also the packaging it's not some plastic packaging. What's the special packaging there?
It's vegetable cellulose film. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
You're welcome.
because I also really do want to be mindful of how we're trashing the planet, and so the vegetable cellulose film will break down in compost, and
one of the best ingredients is the fact that you pray and sing over the chocolate while you're.
Yeah, I use words of affirmation. I tell my chocolate I love it, so I'm like, I love you, shiny, happy.
Wow.
So I feel like if you imbibe those good vibes and good thoughts and intentions into your food, and I pray over my food too, because why not? I mean, we all have that power. We can all do it. And some people pray over their food as a family, or they'll say we give thanks. But if you literally thank your food and that's going in your body, then it has that effect.
I love that.
Feel good.
I had the thought of doing that with I like making smoothies, and I think it'd be fun to have like a little smoothie truck where I'm making smoothies, and then for an extra $1 we'll pray on it. Send some blessings into it, but they'd have to pay for the pray. Pay to pray. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah, and you can tailor it. Like, what do you need prayer about?
Right? Yeah, that's a great idea. We got to talk about this. Maybe we could do chocolate smoothies. And then play music, a little, and then back to the work or something like that. But the other thing is I was on the last silent retreat I was on, the person that was leading it we were going to take a break for dinner, and they had phenomenal foods. It was all vegan stuff and gluten-free, yada, yada. So the deal is like, you take a bite of the watermelon, and then you put the fork down and enjoy and be mindful of, the experience of eating. So, slowing down a little more and being mindful, which seems like it's an ingredient that goes into your chocolate. Also, there's a lot of, mindfulness there. And it would be pretty cool to cater some, in a positive way. You don't want to have like a small batch of stuff that you hate that you give out to people you don't like.
Well, it's interesting you said that, because I make a point that if I'm having an off day, which we all get, let's face it, that I don't even package the chocolate when I'm having an off day. I just leave it.
Nice.
So I only play with the chocolate when it's fun and it's enjoyable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever do anything like play videos of like comedy or anything next to the chocolate while you're having your off day? Jokes and laughter could get.
I sing to it, but I mean, sometimes I might have some music on in the house while I'm collecting stuff or bagging. I'll put some nice music on.
Great transition. Let's talk about your music. Here we have Bubble Trouble, which is the newest release.
That one's the oldest release, but that's the first.
The oldest one. Let's see. Where's the new one? Here's the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if you can hear it. I want to play some. Tell me if you can hear it. It's not better somebody. That sounds great. This is now you're also known for some of your Celtic background.
Yeah, the single that you brought up first, Bubble Trouble, that one is more kind of Celtic-y sounding. You could like start it in the middle somewhere for a sound bite to get an idea.
I don't know. Can you hear the music?
Yes, I can.
Does it sound like it's coming through a microphone?
It's coming through my speakers. No, I think it's coming direct.
Oh, okay, good. Because doing this via Zoom is
new experience.
But yeah, let's just go to the middle then. I'll just randomly pick something here. This is this is recorded in. Yeah, it's really nice work. This is recorded here in Arizona.
No, that was many moons ago.
Oh, okay. I'm not
Wales.
sure which one is the latest.
The first one we played, "Seeing is Believing," is it?
Gotcha. Thank you.
But that one is also recorded at the same time. So Bubble Trouble was recorded first as a single. Me and my ex-husband recorded it, and he loved it so much that he invested into recording more songs with me. And we ended up recording, I think it was maybe 16 songs altogether.
Wow, and an album?
And then I think
That's generous.
album.
And then the newest one, where did you record Seeing is Believing?
That was done at the same time. It was one of the extra band tracks that didn't make the album.
Okay.
Those are singles that I've released over the last couple of years. Most of them have been like in fact, all of them have been throwback singles, apart from two, which I think it was in 2018. I went just before, I think it was just before COVID hit. I went to the UK and recorded with my brother-in-law in the heart of Kenilworth.
Okay.
So I recorded two singles with him, one called Plain Sight, and oh my goodness, I can't remember the other one. You'll find them anyway. And they're all on social media platforms. So
and I'm gonna have everything in the description where people could find your music and your chocolate and all your stuff. Let me see. Well, how are things? We in the pandemic. Like, it's obviously you're entrepreneurial. Are you able to, get on with the chocolate and the music and everything else that you're doing?
By some miracle, grace of God, I don't know, it's divine intervention. It's led me to a more esoteric path. And I also, as well as music and chocolate, I do healing. I facilitate healing. And that started off when I was back in Wales. I studied massage therapy and complementary therapies. So I was a massage practitioner, but that kind of morphed or developed into more energetic practices. So I did something called Reiki healing, which is universal life force energy. So I learned to use and channel that and help people with that. And in the last couple of years, I've delved more into the energetic side of life, and my psychic gifts have become more heightened. And I spent the last couple of years studying tarot. So I now do tarot readings as well. And when I do them, I use them as a form of counseling or therapy. So usually when someone wants a reading, they have questions that they want answered, or they feel unrestful in what their situation is. So I can use that to help someone have clarity over a situation, or understand the dynamics of how things are playing out, and then to, in their highest good, help send healing and goodness to that for the best outcome.
Wow. Now, do you see people at your home, or how do you?
Kind of a mixture of both. I can do consultations on any kind of video call thing.
But you don't go. You're not physically going to people's places, or?
I haven't done for a while, but I have had a few people come to my house, and
okay.
To that.
Wow.
You can still do things and be respectful of space, and if that's in someone's belief system, it's totally fine. I just want to be as loving and respectful to all beings and give everyone the same opportunity.
Very nice. That's great. Well, there's a lot of stuff to cover there, and I'm just going to put everything in the description for people that are viewing this. Have them check out your music and your chocolate, and who knows, maybe someone will ring you for some Reiki healing as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we're going to wrap it up and leave it there.
Thank you. Well, may all be healed by music and
yes.
every sound.
Great. Thank you so much.